So, good day to everyone, especially to our instructor, Sir Paulino Tagailo. Sir, good day to you. I am Janessa M. Seno from BS Cream 3 Bravo. And today, I am going to discuss the parts and function of the polygraph. But first, a polygraph machine consists of four major components, and these are the pneumograph, the cardiospermograph, galvanograph, and the last one is the chemograph. And before we proceed to the discussions of the parts and function of polygraph, we must first define what does polygraph means. When we talk about polygraph, it is commonly referred to as a lie detector. It is a device designed to measure and record several physiological responses in the person as they answer questions, with the goal of determining if they are being truthful or deceptive. The physiological indicators typically monitored include blood pressure, pulse rate, respiration rate, and skin conductivity or sweating, as change in these are believed to correlate with emotional arousal associated with lying. Let's proceed to the first component of the polygraph, and this is the pneumograph. When we talk about pneumograph, it is a case sensor in a polygraph that measures and records changes in person's respiratory rate, depth, and pattern during questioning. It typically uses elastic bands or hollow tubes placed around the chest and abdomen to detect subtle variations in air pressure or movement as the individual breathes. These respiratory changes are analyzed alongside other physiological data to identify potential signs of emotional arousal linked to deception or truthfulness. As we observe in the picture, this is one of the example of the pneumograph. So that was the pneumograph look like. Let's proceed to the second components of the polygraph, which is the cardiospermograph. So as we observe in the picture, this is what does cardiospermograph look like. So when we talk about cardiospermograph, it is a component of polygraph that measures and records changes in blood pressure and pulse rate or heart rate over time. It typically uses an inflatable scuff or similar to the sphygmomanometer wrapped around the arm, along with sensors that detect fluctuations in arterial pressure and cardiac rhythm as the individual respond to test questions. These cardiovascular measures are analyzed to identify physiological changes associated with emotional arousal, which may indicate truthfulness or deception when paired with data from other polygraph sensors like pneumographs and galvanographs. So next, let's proceed to the third components of the polygraph, and this is what we call the galvanograph. When we talk about galvanograph, it is also called as an electrodermal sensor, measures and records changes in skin conductivity or resistance. It uses small electrodes attached to the fingers or hands to detect variations caused by perspiration, which increases as part of the body's emotional arousal response. This data is combined with other physiological readings from the polygraph to help assess whether a person may be truthful or deceptive. So this is what does the galvanograph look like. So as we observe in the picture, this is the galvanograph look like. So let's proceed to the fourth components of the polygraph, and this is what we call the chemograph. When we talk about chemograph, its function is to act as a data recording mechanism. In analog polygraphs, it is used as a motor-driven rotating drum with a chart paper that moves at a constant speed, 6 to 12 inches per minute, while pins transcribe physiological change from the pneumographs, galvanographs, and etc. into visual tracing for examiners to analyze. So this is what does the chemograph look like. So next in this picture, this is one part, or this is one of the part of the pneumograph, and this is what we call the rubber convoluted tube, and it is also known as corrugated tube. So this is what does it look like, and this is the function. It is typically around 10 inches long and is wrapped around the subject's chest and abdomen. As a person's breathes, the tube expands and contracts with chest or abdominal movements, transmitting changes in air pressure to the recording unit to track respiratory patterns. Another example is what we call the blood pressure cuff. The blood pressure cuff is a key part of the cardiopneumograph, or a combined unit measuring cardiovascular and respiratory functions. It typically has a covered rubber bladder centered over the brachial artery, or about an inch above the elbow, and is wrapped around the subject's upper right arm. An air pump inflates it to maintain pressure, usually 60 to 80, and allowing the detection of the fluctuations in blood pressure and pulse rate as blood flows through the artery. These changes are transmitted to recording system for analysis. So that is all my discussion about the parts and functions of the polygraph. And I hope that you learn from it, and that's all. Thank you so much, and once again, I am Janessa Seno from BS Scream 3 Bravo.